sensory system who move, right? So you're right. So it's the sensory system, and the rest organize the cells, the muscles, and the tissues, right? How does this happen? The intelligence expressed through the central nervous system, brain and the spinal cord, continually send vitally important messages between your brain and your body, which travel through your central nervous system at a rate of, listen to this, 375 miles per hour through 40 miles of nerves. This is your daily communication process that helps you to function. Again, keyword function properly. When I practiced in Australia, I was blessed with working with a lot of people that were high-profile people. There's a guy that I worked with over there was a master chiropractor. He was brilliant, and he worked with a famous race car driver over there who had the pleasure of meeting and working with myself when Eric wasn't there, by the name of Peter Brock. Peter Brock is a legend, was a legend. He passed away in Australia, and he was like our A.J. Foyt, or I don't follow race car driving, but that level. He was, in fact, he was knighted by the Queen. And he was really very passionate about chiropractic. He attributed to making a big difference in his career. And what he understood is that it was more than just the back pain and the headaches. That he understood that as his brain was sending these informations through his body at 375 miles per hour to his shoulders, to his elbows, to his wrist, to his hips, to his knees, to his ankles, that if that information was getting there, then what would happen would be is that the brain, I'm sorry, the phone is actually forwarded to me, so it rang, so I apologize. So the brain would be able to get that information back to the reflexes, and so when he saw something coming from his environment through his sensory system, that his brain would integrate that and get those messages there more effectively. Now, he's driving at 200 miles an hour, 220 miles an hour, right? And this message is going to his brain at 375 miles per hour over 40 miles of nerves. What doesn't change is the 40 miles of nerves. But if this 375, maybe because it's interfered with, like in some of your cases, if this is dropped down at 275 miles per hour or even 300, you think that's going to make a difference in his performance?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, when you're talking milliseconds.
Right?
Yeah.
And so for him, it wasn't just a matter of, oh, gee, maybe I'm going to have a headache later today. This is a matter of winning and losing, possibly life and death, right? So the communication going through your brain to your body is really important to make sure that it's not interfered with. And again, you'll find out how chiropractic relates to that. That's what we're really looking for, okay? The communication center. In a 24-hour span, the communication between the brain and the nervous system, this is my favorite slide, by the way, between the brain and nervous system will complete this following task. So your heart will beat 103,680 times, right? 2,100 gallons of blood are pumped through nearly 62,000 miles of blood vessels. Pretty cool, huh? 8 million red blood cells will be produced in the bone marrow. Listen to this, every second. In the time that it took me to say that, I just made like 32 million new red blood cells. What's really pretty interesting about each one of those red blood cells, does everybody know that each one of them is perfect? Is that your body makes each one of them perfect. Could you imagine trying to do that? You'll breathe 23,040 times, and you'll exercise about 7 million brain cells. My wife says I'm good between 4 and 5, but most of you, 7, right? Now, this is a short list. I'm not talking about what the pancreas does, what the liver does, what the heart. I'm giving a very brief list. And why I did that is that look at the magnitude of what we take for granted in our lives. We don't even have to wake up in the morning